Imagine if I didn't qualify for one of the first rounds. That would be really horrible. I like poker. I used to play for a living. Yeah, I guess Hungary. So my experience with poker is living in Ireland. When I was living in Ireland, my stepdad was like, "Hey, there's like a little tournament. You know, let's go play." And I was just like, "Okay, I've never really played poker before, but I kind of know the rules." So I knew the rules. We played at home, I think, a little bit. Egg card, yeah. Oh, this goes into a PC. Oh, your stupid console peasant bullshit couldn't put this in here. Oh yeah, look at this. Look at this. Yeah. Cause Shane, we started playing together. Yeah. So in Ireland, I started playing poker. Just tournaments. Not really start. It was just I went one day, and it was just like we went there and we thought it was gonna be like $5 or something, but I think like the tourney buy-in, the entrance fee was, I think maybe like 40 or 50 euro, something like that. So first tournament that I played, I somehow got down to like heads up play. So it was just me and one other guy from, I think maybe like 20 people or something, and I really didn't know anything about heads up play or short stack play. What is this soccer? So we kept playing and I was just losing, and then we just split the money, and so I think I won like 350 quid that day. And then 2 days later, Euro, sorry, we're in Ireland. 2 days later, there was another one. He's like, "Hey, do you want to go? You know, it was a lot of fun. Let's go again." I was like, "Okay, cool, let's go again." And again, I was in top 2 or top 3, and then we split the money again. I bagged another like 200-300 quid, euro. Same thing happened. I had no idea what I was doing. Same thing happened the next time we went. And I was just like, "Oh my god, what the fuck? Like, what is this?" And then from there, I think that like I didn't really play. And then when I went to America, I put some money on like Poker Stars. I put some money on some you know, like poker site, and did enjoy myself a bit, and I kind of didn't really know what I was doing. But then I've read a book on a specific type of poker. It's called the sit and goes. I think I had a very good knack for it, like an intuitive feeling for it's like, yeah, it's not about not only about the hand selection and what you're choosing and things like that, but it's about understanding the dynamic of the game in total. So not just one specific hand or the next 2 hands or whatever, your image or anything like that, but how the rules set changes the dynamic, changes, you know, how you're supposed to think about the game. And so since I read the book and I just had such a real resonance with me, understanding, you know, Hold'em. I'm talking about Hold'em as well, but just sit and goes, like that style of game. That's such a resonance with me about thinking things very analytically and very trying to look at things from the side. So I kind of got it really quick, and so what I just started doing was like, okay, I'm gonna play this, and because of this very weird kind of distorted outlook that I now had about this game of poker, specific game of sit and goes, I was able to play a lot more tables. I was able to play, instead of just like sitting at one table, you know, I was able to play. Then after one, I was able to play like 5, and then after 5, I was able to play 10. After 10, and I remember when I was I was playing. This is before I got any good. I was playing 24 tables at once. That's about 1,200 hands an hour or something like that. Awesome. I remember that I was just playing and playing, and I was just like, oh, getting better and better, and I'm just playing, and then I kind of like slowed down a bit. I was Serious Roller scary. Yeah, no, I do like talking about these more intellectual things as well. So after a while, you do see it. You do see things a lot differently. So like trying to understand game theory and trying to understand how widely applicable it is. Many different situations in life, many different facets of life that aren't just games. I mean, game theory is about how you get a job. Game theory is about how you get a girlfriend. You know, like the people that the people that you know try and hook up artists. That or pickup artists, you know, they try and pick up a lot of girls by just talking to hundreds of them. You know, that's a game, you know, in a sense, because you're trying to achieve a goal, and there's a rule set that, you know, you have to approach women, be nice to them, you know, you can't touch them without their consent, and so there are rules, and so you try and figure out a way to use the rules to your advantage, to understand how other people are to the games they're playing, and try and find a way to exploit it, or try to find a way not lose. And starting noise. So, game theory, it's in picking up girls. It's in thinking about taking a job, or how about, let's just say this: what is your life worth? And it's just such a weird concept to answer. It's such a simple question, though. It's like, how much dollars do you value? How many dollars do you value your life? Fairly simple. But how if you say infinite, you would be telling a lie. Don't value your life an infinite amount of dollars. Easy way to prove that is anyone with a job that anyone like one second. How do you travel to work? In a car. What's the mortality rate per mile per car? How many days do you have to go to work that ensure, I mean, every day that you go to work ensures that you're swinging on the probability ladder of death. What? That made no sense. You know what I mean, right? So it's you going to work, you driving to work. There's an inherent value that you give to what your work is. And so you're saying, I do value my life, but I've concluded that the value that I get going to work, risking my life to get there, is outweighed the benefits that I get. Don't mind if I don't mind that I would dying, you know, 6 a.m. going to work. Alright, what about taking 2 different jobs? One is next to your house, it's $5,000 less. The other job is 20 minutes away, pay $5,000 more. You just look at it one-on-one, it's like, oh, of course you just go that 5 miles away, you drive that, you know, 20 minutes to go get that job for 5 grand a month, 5 grand a month, 5 grand a year more. 5 grand? You can do a lot of things with $5,000 or pounds. But that means you're putting a price tag on your life. All you have to do is calculate the percent that over, let's say, a 40-year period will die in a car crash. And then you see, okay, so every hour there's a X%, and oh my god! There's every, oh, I'm first. Easy. Okay, no, I'm not first. Jesus Christ. Every hour there's an X%, right? And every hour there's an X%, and you drive this many hours to work every year. So every year you have X multiplied by, 365, or however much you guys work. I work every day! And so you're basically saying that, yeah, my life, in order to get that 5 grand extra, I'm willing to put my life on the line, small, tiny, to get a little bit extra money. But then you can't say, that's the point I was trying to, then you can't say that your life is worth an infinite amount of money. And it's not because you say it's not. Your actions dictate thusly. Your actions dictate thusly. Yeah, and that's why I'm glad that I've played poker, a bit for a few years in my life, and the analytical way of thinking, the trying to think of things, what they cost, the true cost of ownership of different things, the true cost of let's say, what about this? What about depression? What's the true cost of depression? It's like, depression doesn't sound like something that costs money. It does. Oh my god. You're allowing yourself to not be the best version of you, to be less productive. How can you really think? How can you think critically? How can you make good decisions if you don't want to make any decisions? If you feel sometimes your life isn't worth it. It's like, what? Oh my god, I can't talk! Like last year, I spent £2,500 on therapy. There's an outlay that I had where I spent 2.5 grand. Said I value my happiness more than I value 2.5 grand. So I lost 2.5 grand. But let's not take into account what am I gonna gain from that outlay of money? What could I gain? If I was happier and a more fulfilling life, I could do more. I could get a better job. I could work a little bit harder, be more mindful of my money, be happier with less, be happier saving, be happier with the life that I have and not try and fill the holes in me with superficial things. Maybe. I'm not saying that's 100% given, but worth a thought. So I wonder what the true cost of an outlay of £2,500 is. Going back to what do you value your life at? What would you sell your life at? On which, if someone brought you a revolver and said, "Hey, Russian roulette," what would you say? What would be the price that you would try it? Interesting. You can't say you wouldn't do it for no money. That's not true. Alright. Bye, guys!
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.